What's up guys, Bryce here, and we're back at it again for another video. And in this video I'll be discussing the differences between time trial and the multiplayer mode, and in the background we just have me actually using time trial and seeing what I'm doing, just raw footage. I believe I lost connection to my wheel in this particular session, but anyway, let's get right into this video. First off, what are the actual differences in terms of the game? In time trial the conditions are static and the tires will be at the exact same temperature throughout the whole time you're using it. Fuel will be the same, weather will be the same, nothing changes. It's perfect conditions for doing qualifying laps, and that is what it's meant for, as you can set time on the leaderboard. Multiplayer mode, obviously conditions change, tires will get worn over time, fuel load will get lower over time, and tire temperatures will be dependent on your setup. Now obviously you can kind of see what that means. That means that if you have a really aggressive setup in time trial, then obviously in the race over a long period of time, the car will be slower and slower and slower until you pit, obviously. So what is time trial good for in terms of league racing? Time trial is really good for learning a new track. If you have a new track coming up and you don't know it well, then time trial is a really good way to just get out there super quickly and learn the track. Another way is if you're not up to qualifying pace yet. So for me, what I like to do is I would like to go on time trial. The first thing I do when I have a league race and set good qualifying laps with a race setup. Do not use a time trial setup, a race setup, and make the race setup as close as you can get to a time trial setup, but do not make it a complete time trial setup. And this way, if you can set your personal best, and when I know I'm at my limit, if I can set 10 laps within that, within half a second with that personal best, then I know that the setup is good and I don't need to use time trial anymore because I've reached that limit. And that's really what you guys should be doing as well. Using a race setup and adjusting it, super easy to adjust. You can see here we're going back to the pits to adjust it because I felt that the ride height was too low and the car was bottoming out on the curbs. So I can go here and raise the ride height super easily and go back out on track and see how it feels, and not wasting any time changing tires, all that type of stuff that you have to deal with in multiplayer. Now once you reach this limit and you're at the limit and you can consistently put in those lap times that are qualifying pace, then I don't think you need to be using time trial anymore. And at this point, then you're ready to move on to a online lobby. And in this point, you can test out temperatures, fuel load, how the car feels on a fuel load, medium and hard tires. And then here you can just do small, minute adjustments to adjust the car for a race trim. So for instance, I felt that in time trial I was using 1.4 suspension, but for the race on the medium tires I just needed that 1.3 suspension for the better exits coming out the corner. Same thing with the wings. In time trial I was using 3.6 wings, so for the race I lowered it to 1.5 wings instead of 3.6 like I ran in time trial. So doing little adjustments like this, not something drastic, because then you don't want to make the setup too stable. In this game you can really utilize an aggressive setup. You can kind of get away with it, especially if you're driving with the hard tires. You can really get away with an aggressive setup, but don't make it too aggressive. You still want it to be stable over a long period of time, and it just all takes practice and messing around with the setup. But hopefully that's a good explanation of the differences. Again, once you hit that limit and you can consistently put in those laps in time trial with a race setup, then you can move on to online and really work on your race craft and your race pace. It's as simple as that. It's really not that difficult. A lot of controversy around it, but I think I explained it pretty well, and some of you might have a different strategy. Some people can't use time trial because they don't think it's good or it's not for them. Again, I use it for qualifying pace and really working on a stable setup that's not just for one lap. And the way again, consistency is really key, and momentum is the biggest thing in this game. If you have good momentum throughout 10 laps, then you're going to be good and have good racecraft, and you can also test that in a online lobby. So thank you guys so much for watching. Quick video. If you want more of this, leave a like down below. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.